Have you ever been told you couldn't have your drink until you finished your food? Because I was. And I recently realized something about that rule that I had never considered before.
This is practically mindful shit. Loving myself while I'm losing it. Messing all.
Growing up, there was a rule at our house. You had to finish your food before you could drink your drink. The glass sat right there in front of you. You could see it. You knew it was yours, but you couldn't have it yet. You had to finish eating first. And honestly, I didn't think much about it. In fact, I passed that same rule down to my own kids. It was just one of those things that gets handed from one generation to the next. One of those rules that nobody really stops to question. Then recently, while dealing with some digestive issues, I found myself thinking about that old rule. And for the first time, I saw it differently because the drink wasn't dessert. It wasn't a prize. It wasn't something extra waiting at the end of the meal. The drink was part of the meal. It helped the meal happen. It helped the food go down. And suddenly, I found myself wondering, how many other things in my life have I mistakenly turned into rewards? Because lately, I've noticed myself doing something. I have projects I'm working on, the website, the companion, the podcast, the things that are helping bring the Stacey W. Roberts experience together. And there are parts of those projects that feel like construction, necessary, important, but that's not always exciting. Then there are the parts I love, the photography, the fragrances for the soap, the names, the aesthetic, the experience, the vision, the pieces that make me light up when I think about them. And without realizing it, I've been telling myself, not yet, finish this part first. Then you can think about that. Finish the website. Then you can play with the soap ideas. Finish the details. Then you can dream about the experience. Finish the food. Then you can have the drink. But that's when I realized something. The fun parts aren't separate from the work. They're part of the work. Thinking about how a soap will smell, imagining how something will be photographed, envisioning how a listener or customer will experience something. That's not avoiding the work. That's remembering what I'm building. In fact, those creative pieces are often the very things that give me energy to keep going. They reconnect me to the vision. They remind me why the details matter. They help the work go down. And I wonder how often we do this, how often we treat inspiration like it's something we have to earn. How often we push the parts that bring us life to the end of the line. Not because they're wrong, not because they're irresponsible, but because somewhere along the way, we learned finish first, enjoy later, work now, drink later. And maybe that's why some projects start to feel so heavy. Not because we're doing too much, but because we've removed the very thing that helps carry us through it. So this week, I'm trying something different. Instead of treating inspiration like a reward waiting at the finish line, I'm treating it like support along the way. When I sit down to do the construction work, I'm allowing myself a sip of the vision, a few minutes imagining what it'll look like, a moment thinking about how it smells, a glance towards the experience I'm creating, not because I've earned it, not because the work is done, but because remembering what I'm building helps me keep building it. Because maybe the drink was never supposed to wait until the end. Maybe it belonged with the meal all along. That's it for today's P.M.S. episode. I'm Stacey because really, mindfulness shows up in the everyday, the small, simple things that end up being the most profound. Until next time, pour it, sip it, breathe it, live it.
Practically mindful shit. Pour it, sip it. breathe it, live it.